I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
It just came out! Look at that!
I love it!
We're back for another installment of After Hours Live. I'm here with John Romano, just him and I right now, because no one else has joined us. And John, I am at the beach. That's Sarasota Beach. I am in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. My sister's vacationing. It's our anniversary with our husband, Rob. Happy anniversary to them. They're on the beach. I'm recording, and then I'm going to the beach. So that's the story.
That's a great story. I like that. I would say happy anniversary to them too, man. That's a great milestone, right?
You want to know my luck? The year they got married, I was in jail. Can you believe it? They planned their wedding, and of course, as luck would have it, I got sentenced, and I was actually in jail during the wedding.
Shit. Wow.
So I own now.
Yeah, for sure. Now you're there. Good.
I got it. Every anniversary.
You're in their suite at the Ritz. That's good. So this is reminding me of the old days, Dave, back in the early, dawn of our radio careers, man. It was just you and me.
That's right. We started out there was no one else. There was no one else to even. I don't even think we had the capability of having anyone else on the show, right?
Well, no, they had to call in. Remember, Voice America.
It wasn't even audio. It wasn't even video, rather.
No, it was just pure audio. Man, it's just dating ourselves. It makes me feel so old, but it's because I am. But,
so once everyone joins us, I want to talk about Hollywood, because I watched that movie Roadhouse, the new one with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought the beginning was kind of good, and then it kind of sucked. They kind of made it too crazy. But
I have been boycotting Hollywood lately. I'm just so sick of their shit. And
there wasn't any transgenders in the movie that I can remember.
I mean, there's got to be a message. I mean, there's always a message, and it's always a woke message. And I'm just fucking sick of it. I haven't seen a movie in years, man. I haven't. Honestly, I haven't. And if I do see one, it's like on Netflix or Prime or whatever, and I'm looking for an old movie, that was good, or a Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, something where you can't stick a political message in there.
Well, they can stick a political message in anywhere. Believe me. You don't think Tom Cruise is on the payroll for the political messages. Believe me.
Speaking of that, did you see the Eclipse yesterday?
I was outside with my phone looking in the camera, the phone, so I wouldn't blind myself. And I don't think it happened here in Florida. I missed it somehow.
Well, I saw I had a welding mask. I was out in the shop, and I just took a welding mask out, and that works perfectly. And I saw it was only like a corner of the sun.
Right.
You had to be up in Indiana to get the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't think I was in a good spot to see the eclipse. I've seen one before though. I don't remember when.
Yeah, 2017. We had the total down here. Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm not bringing it up because of the science of the eclipse. I'm bringing it up because of the Trump commercial. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What was the
Trump
commercial?
My God. It was the funniest commercial I ever saw, especially for a political thing. It's got a big picture of the sun, right? And he's playing the music, the Valkyrie music, and then you see the moon. It's starting to get dark, and then you look up, and it's not the moon; it's Trump's head
blocking out the sun.
He's blocking out the sun. That was hysterical.
Oh, that's good. I thought you were going to say Whoopi Goldberg's ass was blocking.
Oh my God! Speaking of her, I was just talking to Max. He came over to visit. I was asking him how. If you ever watched The View, and it's funny you brought that up. I just want to know how can a group of cackling hyenas with a cumulative IQ of less than 3 digits make millions of dollars a year on a daily fucking news show. I mean, I don't know what's worse. The fact that they have a show or that there's enough people that watch it to warrant its continuation. I don't know which is worse. I really don't. Sonny Hostin was talking about how the eclipse was because of climate change.
God.
And not only is the supposition absolutely ridiculous, but they go on to explain it like they're like the scientists. You know, she's not even up there, Hostin. But I mean, you know, and you know, Whoopi Goldberg talking about how earthquakes too. The earthquakes and the eclipse are because of climate change, and they're actually explaining it. It's like,
you know what I realized? Logic and science are really not important when you have a group of people that all agree on something that has no logic or science behind it. So it doesn't matter. It's people will believe what they want to believe. That's just
it is absolutely an indictment on America that show has an audience that it's a big audience too. That warrants exactly. That warrants.
You want to know how Biden gets reelected and gets elected in the first place. There you go. That's their.
I can understand the political machine. It's just, and there's intellect that goes into creating a presidency, a presidential campaign, whatever. These women are absolute idiots. Idiots. They have not. I'm telling you, if you added up the IQ in that whole room, it wouldn't be a triple-digit number. They're dumb as fuck, and there they are every day raking in millions of bucks. I just don't get it. I'm talking about The View, fellas.
Yeah, I think they were listening. You know, I went to the before I came here. I was up in Tampa. I had to go to my orthopedic surgeon who did my shoulder replacements, Dr. Frankel.
Yeah, send him to Troy Moore, will you?
Troy should go to him because
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
So they begged me to come in every year to do videos of me because I am I don't want to jinx myself. I got to knock on some wood. I'm his best outcome. He's like, you're the best shoulder replacement I've ever seen. He said, not just from me. He said, from anyone. He said, your replacements are perfectly in place. They haven't moved an inch. They look like they're perfectly, you know, there's no damage to them. He goes, you have the fullest range of motion I've ever seen. You can do everything. He said, and you have zero pain. He said, no one has gotten better. He goes, but you're a genetic freak. He said, so I found that sometimes it has nothing to do with my skill as a surgeon. It has to do with the patient.
You've healed well after all your surgeries.
But do you think that's Troy's issue? That Troy had just?
I think he didn't have the.
He had a bad guy.
Because
he said his was
painful
surgery.
Painful. It was not a painful surgery. They have you on a nerve block the first 3 days in the hospital, and then they send you home. And I didn't even use a Vicodin. I used maybe a half a Vicodin to sleep the next day, and that was it. I used Tylenol. So it's not a painful surgery if it's done correctly.
You heal fast, though, Dave.
You know, I'm not a fast healer. That's the whole thing. For some reason, my shoulders I did very, very well with. Because look at my quad. My quad tendon never stayed. My ankle was healed. But once I get healing, I'm good. It's the initial. Sometimes
it's getting there. That's the problem. Yeah.
No, but you know, it's interesting though because you know so many people have suffered with shoulder issues and they're afraid to get the shoulder replacement. And I'm telling you, I've had a lot of surgeries. I don't really want to brag about it because it's not something to brag about. I've had a lot of surgeries in the last couple of years. And I'm telling you, the shoulder replacements were the easiest surgeries. The restrictions after surgery were no greater than the restriction I had before surgery because I couldn't move beyond this. I couldn't reach up. I couldn't. So this is your restriction after surgery for 6 weeks, and then you can start moving. So it's not a big restriction. You'll still be able to type on a computer, and you're not going to be able to drive a car, obviously, because you got to be able to, some people do it. I think it's stupid because if you have to grab the wheel, you don't want to hurt yourself. But
I want to know who makes those restrictions because I swear to God, it's boilerplate. They use the same one for everybody.
Because
it's years. But let me finish my point. In the last 2 years, I've had a hernia surgery, a carpal tunnel surgery, and a vasectomy. All right. And they're all the same.
Yeah.
Don't lift 10 pounds for more than a week. The exact word for word. I mean, what? Who's making this shit up? That's why I don't listen to them. They go, you don't listen to I go, of course I'm not listening to you because it's got nothing to do with what's going on.
John, my father had open heart surgery. He had like a quadruple bypass, and they told him you can't drive for 8 weeks, right, or whatever, 6 to 8 weeks. My father was driving after 2 weeks. He said, Dad, you're not supposed to drive because if you hit something and the airbag goes off, it's going to hit you in the chest and it's going to fuck you up.
Oh yeah.
He goes, who in town? The airbag's not going off anywhere. He's like, it wasn't even a thought in his head because he hadn't thought about it. He said it's not something to consider
because it's never gone off, right?
Yeah, I mean, right. My father didn't even know there was an airbag in the car. When I told him that, he goes,
because it never went off.
I said, Dad, in the steering wheel, there's a bag. If you get into an accident, the thing inflates and it hits you. He goes, it does? He goes, never happened before. I said, Dad, you haven't been in an accident. I said,
it doesn't inflate. It explodes.
He didn't believe me.
Have you ever had an airbag go off?
Yeah.
No.
It does. It explodes on you. And if your hand
was doing white powder too,
your forearm will get cut up from the bag or scraped real bad from the bag. Your head could get hit in it.
Oh, really?
And it's full of white powder, so it explodes.
Yeah, white powder. And you can't breathe.
White powder.
That white powder is hard to breathe.
Does it work? Have you guys?
Well, I did it. I did it in a course I was taking. You had to endure an airbag explosion, and it was like.
Is that part of your survival training, John?
It actually was connected to that, but it explodes. And it literally explodes. There's a charge in there, like a 22 caliber charge. It explodes. And like Amin said, the white dust they have the white dust in there because it keeps the bag from sticking together when it's folded. So the bag, it explodes, white dust everywhere. And I'm like wondering, the windows are shut, boom, thing goes off. I can't fucking breathe. So what am I going to die from the accident or die from asphyxiation? One of the two. It's going to.
And you're probably going to get like asbestosis, like in 10 years from now or something from breathing that shit in. Unbelievable. But everything's safe. No. All I know is that when I was a kid, there were no seatbelts in the car except for my grandmother's arm she would throw out in front of me when I sat in the passenger seat. And we never got into an accident. And if you did, the car was like built like a tank, so nothing happened.
My mom had a Pontiac.
Just bounced around a little bit.
My mom had one of those big Pontiacs, man. They were like heavy metal.
Hey, John, you remember those big bumpers? How come they don't put bumpers on cars anymore?
Oh, the push bars?
The bumpers are designed to crush now. Before they repelled the car.
Right. They bounced you off. When I was a kid, my mom drove a Jeep, a CJ5. And we were going somewhere, I think we were on Sunrise Highway. We're stopped at a light, and somebody rear ends us in a Plymouth Duster. All right, a drunk lady in a Plymouth Duster rear ends us. We were stopped.
No damage on our car.
We had a little tiny dent in the tailgate, and we had the drawbar with the hitch sticking out. The whole front of her car was destroyed. Coolant leaking everywhere. The oil was coming out. The car was absolutely destroyed, and the Jeep had this little dent in the back.
Hey, John, everybody was driving drunk back then. It was, you would have your alcohol in your car. That's how it was. I was a kid, right,
Well, after they made all the DWI laws, the boaters were still doing that. They were still drinking on the boats. I thought it was
still are.
I was going to say, I thought it was almost you had to have a drink if you were driving a boat. I thought that was like a rule.
Aaron Singerman wrecked his boat drunk, didn't he?
Well, yeah, he was really drunk. But my point is that now they're starting to arrest people for boating while they're intoxicated too, which makes sense, I guess.
They'll board your boat thinking you're drunk, and they'll find like 12 illegal immigrants in there.
I remember my friends got arrested. They were watching with binoculars, and they were taking little caps at GHB going back like that. So, but they were watching binoculars. Of course, they knew what they were doing because it was on Lake Louisville, and they were pouring little G caps and taking little caps like that, and they just went on there and climbed aboard and just arrested them.
I thought you were going to say that they were looking at the naked girls with the binoculars. I didn't know.
No, they had binoculars. No. That's how they saw him from afar, like doing that or whatever. So.
Right.
Was it the Coast Guard?
No, it was the lake.
Greg, in 1975, when you went on your first boat with strippers, what were the rules then?
Dude, when I was younger, I could go on boats like that. We were out in the ocean, and I never got sick. I'd see fucking everybody vomiting and stuff like that, you know. But now I can't even go on like the Circle Line, or I get nauseous. You know,
Really?
Circle Line has no waves.
No, it goes out to the Statue of Liberty.
When I was younger, we
Going
got
around Manhattan.
we went out that day after there was remember that hurricane or whatever it was in '77, that bad storm. We were out there in the fucking Sheepshead Bay out off of Brooklyn, and the waves were like freaking 10 feet, 20 feet high, and everybody in the boat, the first mate, everybody was throwing up. Me and my friend were like, "Oh man, we got to go fucking on the back of the boat. We can't. Otherwise, I was going to wind up barfing watching everybody." We had no trouble. Now I can't fucking do any of that shit. I'm like holding it in to puke, you know. It'd be like Barfarama, like remember that movie with where the one guy started puking
Stand By Me, the blueberry pie contest.
Wait, wasn't it a Monty Python thing where they called it Barfarama and everybody started barfing and some
I remember that. I don't know what it was, but I do remember that.
Stand By Me when they had the blueberry pie.
Exploded and one person vomited and another guy vomited and all of a sudden everybody just started puking. That's the way.
I was on a booze cruise in Cancun, and everybody was just so plastered drunk, and I saw it coming. We were going up the stairs, and I saw this person getting ready to heave, and I ducked, and the wind caught the vomit and threw it all in the guy's face right behind me.
Right, oh man.
Saved by the wind.
I hate that. I used to have bad dreams, and I'd be walking in the hallway in school and shit and tripping fucking because I seen some chick that I liked when I was young, and she was puking that like oatmeal type puke, and it was going all over the place. You know what I mean? And I was horrified. And ever since then, I used to have dreams like I'd be walking and slipping and shit, and it splat in my face or in my mouth, and I was like, no! Like I'd rather eat shit than just even touch vomit. Vomit to me is the most disgusting thing on the planet.
You would have loved this powerlifting meet then, Greg. This guy was doing deadlifts, and he was doing some kind of charity. Like, you know, every rep was, you know, like $1 or $10 or whatever to the charity. I forgot. I don't remember exactly what it was, but the guy's doing deadlifts, and every time he stands up, he goes and projectile vomits out into this big
3 times. It was 3 times, I think. I saw that.
No, it was like 10 times, man. It was he just every rep, and he just projectile. I mean projectile, you know, like 4 feet ahead of him. And he just kept going. He wouldn't put the weight down, just lifting up, puke, put it down.
You know, I refused to throw up when I was bodybuilding because I did not want to lose the nutrition that I just consumed. You know.
Well, why don't you be like a dog? Just eat it again.
Yeah, I would have. I would believe you.
I've done that. Like
that's
I would have made another shake.
Yeah,
that's hardcore.
Wait, you know what? What about the power lifter that squatted? He squatted and his whole anus and everything came in. Do you remember that? His pants.
Oh, gross.
No.
Fucking intestines and shit shot
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Oh, you must have loved that.
That was like on Gore Gallery. That crazy
I don't
site.
think that's
that
real. I
black
don't think
people
that's
was
Blue
on.
and O-ring.
Oh my God,
Gore Gallery, yeah.
Early 2000s. He squatted down and
I don't think you can shit out your intestines.
He
No, it was his suit was split open. It was the whole thing was out.
The whole spandex ripped and everything.
Yeah.
You saw
I
that.
tried to block that out in my head. Why'd you do that?
I know. Now I got to remember that.
I don't know if I believe that.
The
one.
suit
Yeah,
ripped.
it was pretty hardcore. Yeah.
Shit, the fucking thing was like, you know, I don't know. Maybe
You're so fascinated by shit, Greg. I don't know what it is.
This was his fucking. Dude, and you know what's funny? He must have been taking it up the ass, maybe, because just, you know, when it ain't, it stretches.
Big hole.
Maybe
Something loosened it up back there for sure.
It was a big hole. Greg, stop. I don't remember that.
It's like 2 women in a cup.
Yeah.
2 girls, 1 cup.
2 girls, 1 cup, whatever that was.
What was that about?
Oh my! You don't know? You don't know?
I swear to God, we talked
You're
about
the
this.
only guy in America that
I
doesn't
can't remember
know.
anything. I mean,
Oh my God!
Well, one girl ate another girl's shit, then puked it into a cup, and the other girl drank the cup with it.
Oh, here we go.
It was shit they ate, and then she puked it up.
It looked like soft serve yogurt they were serving up when it was coming out.
Did you jerk off to that, Greg?
The vomit. I could have took the shit part, but the vomit part, forget it.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't like vomit, Greg. He only likes shit.
No, the other way around.
The way around. I don't like shit either, but I'm saying that to me, the most.
No, he doesn't like the vomit. He doesn't mind the shit.
Right. He likes the shit.
Oh, I mixed it up. Okay.
But I'd rather, if you gave me a choice, I'd rather I'd eat a log before I'd eat fucking somebody's vomit. You know what I mean? Like
Did you see they're coming out with the new Goonies movie?
No.
No.
The Curse of One-Eye Willie.
I wonder how this is going to be genderfied, neutral. What are we going to have here? There's going to be.
What do you think is going to be in the movie?
Well, I remember the old movie.
It's going to be some woke message. I promise you.
You're right.
Yeah.
There'll be a gay, a transgender,
There'll be something fucked up.
interracial bullshit. You know, the leader will be maybe a black chick or something.
Wasn't River Phoenix in that movie?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Or was that Stand By Me? Am I mixing them up?
It was in Stand By Me for sure.
Oh. I wonder if they're going to bring back the original cast of Goonies.
I want to see that new.
They're too
old.
normal. They got to have an intersectional.
You know what they could do? They could bring them back as the parents of the new kids.
And then you have,
yeah, so I'm wondering.
right.
Yeah.
Well, then some of the kids are going to be transgender. Some of the other ones are going to be, intersexed, pansexual. Adopted. Asian adopted.
They're going to use the pronouns. The pronouns are going to be used.
Fat nerds and stuff.
Couple of adopted black kids. They got to spread it out.
Yes.
John, can you see the script right now? You're going to be talking. There'll be like one person. They'll be like and there'll be one person. They like to go to the park and play with the whatever.
With them.
Yeah, with them. It's only one person.
Or he, her. Wait, what's the other one? That's the weird. Fucking...
what's the other one? Greg, there's like 35 of them. Are you kidding me?
Infinite.
There's one that's it's a really fucking odd fucking. But then again, what if you called like a tranny or a gay, you called them it? You know what I mean? They'd freak out, right? But you say, well, how do I know it's not your pronoun? It wants you to go. You know what I mean?
There has to be a safe term that could mean.
There's no safe term.
Do you know in England now they just passed a law that it's now a crime to misgender somebody?
It's nuts.
You rob a store, go fucking jump some
crime, arrestable crime. That if you misgender somebody on purpose.
Can you imagine that? You commit a crime, like you go to rob a store and they misgender you, and then they come to arrest. They arrest the guy who's being robbed because they misgendered the robber.
Welcome to the modern age.
Federal came with. Remember, Call Me Ma'am? Remember that freak that went into a game
at the gas station?
And the kid behind the counter saying, "Dude, calm down."
All right. Funny. Jake Gyllenhaal, natty or not?
Not.
What do you think he took for this movie? For the Roadhouse movie?
I'll tell you what, I watched that movie and he looked incredible. I'll tell
he
you,
did look incredible. The movie sucked, but he looked really good. Though.
Conor McGregor was fucking super jacked compared to what he normally is. He's normally skinny as a rail. And
but he was kind of fat though. He was like bloated. You think he was doing a cycle?
How old?
Yeah.
I don't think he could. Look, the definition would be that sharp without gear.
How old is he?
Well, Conor McGregor, don't forget, has to make weight. That's why he was always so small.
Yeah.
No, but he
was constantly dieting.
You could see his build was different. I mean, he was jacked.
I think, Dave, what do you think? His face kind of gives it away. I think he has the steroid face to me.
Yeah, he looked like he's on a cycle. Yeah.
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 Fuck yeah. It's well known. Everybody talks about that. Even UFC people, all the other fighters, like he's on juice.
Well, he was rehabbing himself for a while, right. Wasn't he?
For the leg, yes.
He broke his leg.
Listen, I don't think he's on juice.
He'll never fight. I don't think he'll ever fight again unless it's like
he won't ever fight again.
Why? He has enough money. Why?
Because those guys love to make more money. That's why. I mean, he might do like an exhibition against like Mr. G or something like that. But, he's not going to fight like a real person.
Dave, there's no way he could go through training camp again and just and actually do it without partying and You
think he would? What if Mike Tyson wanted to fight him in an exhibition? He would do that.
Yeah, but you know what his problem is? He gets gassed. The way to beat McGregor is to go deep in the fight because he gets gassed already. With all that new muscle mass, you're going to get gassed. There's no way. I don't give a shit.
That's what Baroni's fault. That's what Baroni's problem was too. If Baroni got you in the first round or two, he killed you.
Yeah.
Right.
Then he would gas out a lot.
Because he was on gear.
Well, I don't know. If
I think that happened. I think that gear takes away from your endurance.
Well, if you're bloated from it, yeah, I think it does.
Even Brock
Also, you get pumped up and stuff like that. It makes it even harder to last long, I think.
Well, how come the guys take it then to run faster in races?
It depends what you're taking too, though.
The distance runners don't take steroids. I don't think the little skinny Kenyans.
Are you kidding me? You were joking. You were joking.
No, they do like
everybody's doping. So
they use EPO. They use anabolic.
No,
you ever hear of a guy named Victor Conte?
Of course, the clear and the cream.
Yeah, no, sprinters don't do any juice.
No,
it's endurance. He said endurance.
Endurance. Oh, I thought you said
about the skinny Kenyans and the Africans that win the distance. They're usually Africans.
Oh, they all do epigen.
Have you seen the mile time? The mile world record? Those guys are taking juice, believe me. They run the mile, which is 4 laps, 4 quarter miles, like they're sprinting the whole way. Try to sprint the mile.
Dude, I saw.
You'll want to die. You'll say, just kill me and get it over with right now. That's how
I saw somebody posted a video and I reposted. It was a picture, it was a video clip of like, this is why men are different from women. This is the difference between men and women, right? It shows this sprinter, right? This black dude, this chick, she gets the baton. It was actually a relay race. She was already halfway around the track like that. And by the time the black dude got the baton, he sprinted and beat her all the way. So she was halfway around the fucking track. And he passed her like this, and it went around. And they're saying, that's why when these dudes are walking around, I'm a woman, that's why you can't, because this guy was like, it was like watching a horse trying to race a man. You know what I mean? The woman was running full tilt. This woman was a world-class sprinter. And it was like, holy fuck, night and day. It was unbelievable how he passed her.
And the funny thing is the sprinting times are a lot closer between men and women than the distance. Because as you get more and more distance, it's harder for the women to keep up. But
this guy was
some of those women are beasts. You see their legs; they got such big and muscular. It's crazy how great they look.
Well, the Canadian that beat Carl Lewis originally back in the
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson was tested positive for Winstrol.
And they all were using shit. He was just dumb enough to get caught. Yeah.
Yeah, and all the East Germans were using Turnaball.
Yeah.
All the meds. So it's
you guys taking Turnaball?
Turnaball is the only steroid that was pretty much designed for bodybuilding, besides maybe D-ball, right?
Yeah. Turnaball was designed for the East German women.
Right, it was designed for them. Yeah, not like some steroids have medical purpose, but that one was.
Well, I think Dianabol was originally designed for.
That's what I said. Dianabol too.
So
it was. It absolutely was.
West Side Barbell Club.
Didn't Hitler invent? He was involved in bringing Dianabol out there.
No, they gave testosterone to the
right?
I thought they did. I thought they're the ones who started.
They gave him testosterone, amphetamines, all kinds of shit they were experimenting with.
The good old days when you can get drugs legally prescribed to you. They handed them out in the army and the Navy.
They forced you to take them.
Yeah.
Nowadays you have to beg, cheat, and steal to get them, right?
No, you got to say you're a woman.
unless you are a woman, then you got to say you're a man.
What do you think about this Rampage Michael Hearn fight? I know John and I talked about it last week, but
oh, that's ridiculous.
I wanted to get you guys to chime in on it.
That's ridiculous.
Rampage and Michael Hearn?
Yep, they're fighting.
Michael Hearn knows how to fight like that?
I know what Johnny does.
You can't compare a skilled fighter like a guy who's these guys now. The internet guys are getting out of hand. I'd rather see.
You think it's dangerous, Greg?
I mean, if
I'd be terrified to fight Rampage.
Jackson wanted. I like Michael Hearn personally. You know what I mean? I think he's all right, but I'm saying I don't think that you're not gonna fucking take Rampage. You're not gonna be kidding me. He's one of the greatest fighters. That guy will kill you if he wanted to. Now, these guys will do anything for money. What about that other guy that's always fucking fighting everybody, thinks he can take everybody? The guy that's big.
Big Paul?
No.
Brad Martin. We talked about him the other week. Remember, Greg?
Yeah.
Brad Martin.
What's his name?
Bradley Martin.
Why? How come Bradley Martin doesn't fight Michael Hearn? That'd be a better fight to me. Two guys bodybuilder. Just
That would be a good. That actually would be.
That would actually be a good fight.
That would be
I
a really
think.
good fight. I don't know why Michael Hearn would risk getting his face punched.
I never knew Michael Hearn
A
even
lot of
had
money.
any
That's why, guys. Come
at
on.
all.
I'm sure.
It's always amusing.
It's
It's always amusing to me how whenever the topic of Michael Hearn comes up, it's dog pile on the rabbit. I mean, it's nobody ever gives this guy the benefit of the doubt. In any situation, no matter what.
No, but John, the reason why people say
I mean,
I'm friends with Mike. I'm very good friends with Mike. It's Rampage is a serious, MMA guy.
You're comparing apples and oranges. That's like me. Like there's no way no fucking guy that doesn't fight on a regular basis for a living, UFC, fucking the whole bit, is going to get in. Is going to stand a chance against a really skilled fighter. You're not going.
When's the last time Rampage Jackson fought a legit fight?
I don't give a fuck. I don't care if he has.
He still fights over, I think, in Japan, like in a different. I mean, he was really fat. He was fighting for a while. He was really fat. Then he hired this trainer, fitness guy that trains him now, and he's got in better shape. But man, Rampage would destroy Michael Hearn. That's not even like a comparison.
That's my point, bro. How do you know that? Have you ever seen Michael Hearn fight?
I was just going to ask you, John. When's the last time Michael Hearn fought?
It's like just because you've never seen him fight doesn't mean he doesn't know how to fight.
That doesn't, John. You're comparing.
Well, usually you hear about someone like, oh, that guy fights a lot, or he's been in fights. Like I didn't know
judo championship. I mean, the guy's knows how to fight.
I'm sure he does. Yeah. Comparing fucking pro. You're comparing one of the best fighters. If Rampage Jackson really wanted to, you can't compare that.
Well, what are the rules?
Huh?
I mean, if he, Mike knows judo, so what are
the
real fight?
It must be boxing, right?
Oh, that doesn't.
No,
it's
MMA.
UFC.
I like.
Pretty effective.
I'm sure Michael. I actually believe he's natural. Lee Priest told me he's natural. Bottom to everybody that knows him. He's not huge compared to what you guys think. I mean, he's a guy. I like the guy personally.
Well, he's 260, Greg. He's a lot bigger than
Rampage. Dude, what are you talking
about? And how old is he again, guys?
No, wait a minute.
54.
No, but I'm saying comparing him to bodybuilders, his height and everything like that. But I believe he's natural, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, I'm sure the peanut gallery is going to attack for that. But meaning those guys,
You believe Michael Hearn's never taken any hormone?
I believe he might have done Botox and shit, but I don't know about no fucking. I really don't care, to be honest with you. I could give a shit, but you can't compare a pro fighter, John. I'm shocked you're saying this. A UFC legend. You can't compare that with a guy. I did some judo.
Greg, how old is Rampage now?
50, I think, right?
Okay, he was a legend.
But that's like Joe Rogan can fight. Joe Rogan's a tough to bring. You think he can get in the ring with one of those?
I'm telling you this. You shouldn't be surprised because I'm telling it to you this way. Michael Hearn would never put himself in a situation where he would stand and destroy his face. Okay,
exactly.
So he's not getting in that ring stupid. He knows what he's obviously assessed the situation. He's made a decision based on who knows what, but he made it. And he's not doing it to step into the ring and get killed. He wouldn't do it. Nobody would. Nobody
knows the rules. Dude, let me tell you something. I don't give a I'd fight fucking nigga Amo for whatever you say his name is there. Khabib. For money, I'd let him fucking rape me on the fucking in the goddamn ring. I don't give a shit. For money, I'd blow him in front of everybody.
As long as you didn't puke on you, right?
I'm just saying, I don't believe there's got to be rules. It's probably in fun. They probably hang out and shit like that and sit in a bar and said, bro, we should fucking set up a fight, right? There's no way Rampage is going in there to rip you apart. There's no. You guys got to be, you're out of your mind. I don't care if he does jujitsu, fucking judo. Joe Rogan even talks about that. Joe Rogan is 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. He does all this other bullshit. He's a great fighter, Joe Rogan. But that's different from fucking putting yourself in the ring with a UFC legend. And I don't care how long it's been since Rampage Jackson's fought. These guys have a skill set. You know how many times he's been punched in the face? Do you understand how many times has Michael Hearn been punched in the face? What I'm saying is,
you don't know.
Well, listen. All I know is what's Mike Tyson's favorite fucking statement? Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Hey, you're in a fight and you're standing there and you're fucking bobbing and we move and boom, all of a sudden you get hit in the face. You're like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, you're talking about a legend.
By the way, Rampage is 45.
Okay.
Okay, he's not.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Dude,
He's even younger than him.
my good friend Carlin Coker, who I grew up with, is his fucking doctor, and they fucking roll. And
Hearn's 55.
That's a bad
1
motherfucker.
year younger than me.
First of all, Rampage would probably breathe on him. He looks like he's got that breath. You know what I mean? And
What does that mean? That sounds very racist, Greg.
no,
What the fuck? Not that breath.
he's got the Cro-Magnon. He's got that karate kung fu breath. You know what that means? That shit's kicking. But I'm just saying, I just can't. But all joking aside, this you can't compare a fucking. You know what I mean? That's like when I said, "Oh, I could hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball." This is different when you're in a batting cage as opposed to having like Roger Clemens standing up there with a ball moving and shit. It's you know what I'm saying? It's not the same.
But you know how a street fight is. Anything can happen in a street fight. You could get your. I mean, remember when Tito Ortiz got beat up by some random guy outside of a bar?
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
You get caught off guard, it can happen.
If you get hit, of course.
Yeah.
I told you.
It happened to Van Dam.
I saw a little girl get fucking knock out a fucking giant bouncer. She threw a roundhouse kick because he kept grabbing her, and she knocked him out. And everyone was like, "Oh shit!" And I mean, she looked at she was $110. You know what I mean? But
street fights are very different. I mean, I don't know. I used to street fight a lot when I was younger, and they would last less than a minute, right? And then my friends that would do professional fighting, I would go spar with them sometimes, and they would destroy me. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is terrible. But just to actually go against a trained fighter, it's just completely different.
You guys remember when Mariusz Pudzianowski,
that example,
yeah,
man, and he went for MMA.
Yeah,
and kicked his fucking.
And he did great in the first round. But after that, he was gassed. It was done.
They set up his first 3 fights with bums. And then he fought Tim Sylvia. And Tim Sylvia manhandled him. And when he was done, he said, I have to lose like 75 pounds. Because he knew with all that big muscle, as strong as he was, and he was already a fighter. He was a fighter in prison. He was a bad dude. If you read about him, he was a prison fighter. When he was younger and everything. He was a bad dude, Pudzianowski. But the thing is, you can't carry that kind of mass. Look at fucking Brock Lesnar. You want to beat Brock Lesnar? Stay the fuck away from him. Give him about a minute or 2 minutes into the round, and then start going. I'm just saying, these guys are killers at first. But, you know.
Bare knuckle fighting doesn't last very long.
Well, the average street fight's literally 10, 20 seconds, and it's over.
I mean, it always ends up on the ground.
Yeah.
All right.
I've watched that Mike Perry knuckle fight a few times. He's pretty knuckle fight. Bear boxing is so different because they're so much close to each other because each little jab. That's kind of brutal to watch though. I can only watch so much.
Kimbo Slice type stuff. Remember?
Yeah, but if you get a UFC guy like a fucking Tito Ortiz, trust me, if Tito Ortiz got in a ring with that guy at 84, that's because somebody sucker punches him and he's not ready. If you listen, I've had my fucking 10-year-old niece fucking crack me in the jaw. I'm like, holy fuck, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not ready, trust me. But if he's in the ring and he's going to fight, believe me, Tito Ortiz would have wiped the ring up with him.
Let me tell you. First of all, Tito Ortiz lives in Cape Coral now. I saw him
I know that.
in Backstreet. This place. He has a Tito's Cantina, and then after like that, like 11 o'clock would come out and he'll just hang out at the bar and stuff like that. First of all, he's a lot bigger than you think. He's really tall. I don't know how he ever made the weights he made because
what 6, Dave? 6 foot?
He's tall, way taller than me, and so he. I wouldn't want to mess with him, but if he's drinking and he's a little drunk and he's not like paying attention, like you said, and someone catches you, anyone can go down. You know what I mean? You have to be ready to fight. You can't get caught.
You can knock him out. I'm telling you that now. If he's ready,
anyone can sucker punch anyone. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's what I was trying to say. 10-year-olds could fucking hit you in the jaw and make you go, holy fuck.
Yeah.
know what I mean?
My 4-year-old son, he gives me black eyes like here and there. He's giving me like 3 black eyes already, just playing around.
I remember did you have a black guy? You said you were playing with him and he leaned in and you're not expecting it. Didn't he hit you in the eye and you had a black guy a couple months ago or whatever?
He's done it like 3 times. He's strong. Yeah, he hits hard.
Him later
I just started him back in fighting last week, to do
You know what the
boxing.
problem with you? You know what the problem with you, Armand, is? As they would say in Roadhouse, you're a bleeder. Remember that scene? He's a bleeder, and then he fucking punched the shit out of him. I hate bleeders.
I was disappointed in that movie. I expected a lot more out of that movie. I know it's a silly movie.
No, I'm talking about the first movie. I'm not. After I watched the new movie, the new Roadhouse, I went back and watched the Swayze one. The Swayze one is way better. Way better.
Always.
Yeah.
It holds up. It still holds up too.
Hey, getting back to the O'Hearn thing, I like Michael Hearn. I stick up for him. I tell everybody.
Is he a good guy?
He's a good guy.
He's a great
guy. He's a great guy.
His wife, I've known his wife way before he even met her. Mona. She's a great girl, man. I love her. We used to go to her Nebraska steakhouse. Me, Rodney Roller, Carlo Filippone. We would go there. We would, you know what I'm saying? We'd have she made great steaks in Nebraska steakhouse down by, in the Wall Street area. Yeah. But I'm telling you something. When you're fighting a freaking guy who does this every day, gets punched in the face every day, all day, they're different. It's a different animal. Now, if you can have an exhibition fight and they make a deal, listen, none of us get hurt. We get in there, we collect the fucking scuttle. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of rules. Rampage is now an actor, and first of all, he's always been a funny guy, and he's always been the kind of guy that plays a little bit of a game. You know what I mean? Like, I'll kill you. You know what I mean? So nothing shocks me about this. But you're not going to – I don't care how many jiu-jitsu classes you do or judo classes. You're not getting punched in the fucking face every single day like these guys do, the training that they do and the background they have. I'm just telling you. Joe Rogan talks about – Joe Rogan's been doing fucking, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, all this shit since he's a kid. He did judo, did all that shit. But I tell you, he could never get in a ring with those guys. They'd kill him.
Mike's so into his looks, I guarantee you he's not getting punched in the face and sparring and stuff like that.
I agree.
That's what I said, Armand.
Mike's a tough guy. Like Mike.
I remember. Yeah,
he's a very tough guy. He's not like a pussy or anything like that.
All I'm saying is this: I've known him a long time, and I'm not great friends with him or anything, but I've known him. I've seen him. I trained in the same gym as him for years and years and years. Gladiators, the whole thing. This guy is not to be underestimated. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, you can make the argument, Greg. You have a great argument all day long, getting punched in the face for a living. Great argument, and it holds merit. But I'm telling you, do not underestimate O'Hearn.
So you think he's going to win? You think he's going to win? You got O'Hearn for the win?
And whether he wins or not is irrelevant. What I'm saying is, it's not going to be a massacre like everybody thinks it is. So. All I'm saying is don't underestimate John. And I got one other request, Greg.
Yes.
On your sunglasses on the left side, you got a big wad of hair stuck in there, and it's driving me fucking nuts.
It's driving me crazy.
Well, I know a lot of fighters, they lose that fighter instinct at a certain age.
Where did that come from? Because I don't have hair. It must have, it's carpet. Oh no,
It looks like a pubic hair, John. Actually.
Yeah, it looks like a big wad of pubic hair.
You know what it is? It's from, remember I did put that wig on last week?
Yeah.
I don't wear these unless these are indoors. But that's what that is, because I just pulled the black hair. I don't have hair, obviously, from that wig. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate
it was just making me crazy. It was like the hole in the wall that you half-ass patched over there behind you.
At least I can't see it, John. It's like it's a white spot now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And as soon as the wall's getting dirtier as the days go on, so it's kind of blending in now.
I know the spackle's getting whiter.
Rather than paint the wall white, it'll just let the white spot get dirty.
That's great. That's great. I'm sure I'll fight.
At least a few farts on that spot, Greg. It'll darken up a lot quicker.
How about a diarrhea? But I'm sure Hearn can fight. Nobody's saying that.
John, do you think he's going to fight? Or I mean, with the judo skills, he's probably going to try to take him down and put him in a hold. I mean, hits him in an armbar. Could be over.
He is bad on the ground, Rampage. He's better on his feet.
All I'm saying is, I've been around long enough to know don't underestimate O'Hearn. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you can make comparisons, decide he's going to win, lose, whatever. All I'm saying, 1 point only. Don't underestimate the guy.
Why does everybody want to fight once they get older now? It's like everybody wants to fight.
Money.
Money. That's
Mike
what
has money.
Mike has money.
Followers on YouTube. Now that's the new thing. Everybody wants it. Like, soon you're gonna, forget about it. Everybody wants.
Is there anyone that, Greg? Is there anyone that you wouldn't fight if like that you're like a little afraid of, like even though the money might be like good?
No, for money, I'll fight anybody.
Yeah. Really? Okay.
I mean, I can hang and bang if I have to, but not anymore. I mean, now
well, let's say someone put $100 grand on the line. If you would fight like one of these ex-MMA guys, would you do it?
Of course. So you get for $100 grand. There's nothing I wouldn't do for.
Right, you could get seriously hurt though.
I was just about to say, getting knocked out for $100 grand.
In that fucking hospital, I'd be like, just tell my girlfriend, did they fucking pay or not?
Dave,
I wouldn't be so much afraid of getting knocked out. I would be afraid of like getting my arm ripped out of the socket.
Greg will be on his back. He'll be like, "Take me to the hospital. I bought a new house for $100. I put $100 grand down." And they're like, "Greg, you got to pay taxes on that $100 grand. You're only getting 50."
Now he's really got to go to the hospital.
Oh, yeah. He's like, Elizabeth.
This is the big one. I'm coming, honey.
Larry, would you fight Mike O'Hearn?
This is the big one. Would I fight Mike O'Hearn for the right?
Larry's a wild card. He might win.
Oh, Larry.
For the right amount of money? Hell yeah, I would.
Larry gets that pit bull or whatever that thing is over there. That thing would. I don't
Would
think.
you do it for $100 grand?
For the right amount of money, I would.
Yeah, but I mean,
for $100 grand. That's not a lot, but it's enough.
Oh, it's a lot of money. For me, do it for 10 grand.
Yeah, I would.
But you like fighting, Larry. Like you grew up fighting, so that's like in your blood, right?
I mean, even the worst case scenario, if he beats me, like, so what?
Right.
You got $100 grand.
Right. No, guaranteed $100 grand. Would you fight
Who here has been knocked out by a punch?
I've never been knocked out, but I've seen stars.
I'll tell you what. I would not fight Rampage Jackson for $100,000. I don't care what. I wouldn't fight. I wouldn't fight any MMA guy for $100 grand because I know that I can't beat them, and I don't want to get. I don't want to get shit. I don't want to get knocked out.
You also don't need $100 grand that bad, Dave.
I would fight Larry.
It doesn't matter. I wouldn't do it anyway.
I know
my health is more important. Right. What if you get permanent brain damage? Getting hit.
Dave, that's true. And probably, if anyone could use $100 grand, it'd be me, but I wouldn't do it.
I don't know.
Think about it. If you get hit hard enough and then you fall back and hit your head, you could be permanently damaged.
A lot of guys are.
And I would rob a mean on the way out of the ring. I need that $100 grand.
When I would puke on you.
When I was young, I was in
Greg.
Yes.
Greg, what Greg could do, this would be the strategy, John. If Greg had a fight like Rampage, he'd eat a ton of like fucking disgusting food. He'd drink creatine, everything he possibly could, and he'd just shit on Rampage in the ring, and that would be it.
That's it.
Quit.
Tie him up and shit on him.
Rampage taps out. Can't take the smell of Greg.
I wonder if that's ever happened. Does anybody ever shit themselves when they were?
There was a fighter that was used to know like he wouldn't shower like days before a fight. I don't remember who it was. I'm serious. Yeah.
I know a few bodybuilders who smell like that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
There was the guy was Devin Levert, the arm wrestler. He had a wrestler. He did like a wrestling match, like a little jiu-jitsu thing with some guy. I think he's a powerlifter or something. And when the guy got up, he said, "Dude, I know you beat me, but your breath was so fucking bad down there." And his wife said, I've been telling him his breath stinks because he eats all his like onions and fucking raw garlic. And he said, your breath was so bad I couldn't breathe. Devin Levert, he beat some guy, and his wife was even saying, it's on the internet, you can watch it, where he beat this guy. And the guy got up and said, I gotta be honest with you, I had trouble fighting. Your breath is fucking so bad in there. He said, I couldn't breathe. I really just choked out because your breath. And Levert was laughing. And Levert's wife said, I've been telling him his fucking breath stinks because he's eating all this fucking raw garlic and all this other shit.
Well, it worked. It worked.
So we could try that. You know, I mean, that might be an advantage.
I think your strategy definitely is that you should shit on whoever you fight, Greg. That would definitely give you an advantage. It's like a skunk, skunking someone,
Dave's fighting techniques. I love it.
You got to use every tool at your disposal, right? Exactly.
That's right. Dude, you know what I do? I do like the Mo from the Three Stooges. I say, pick two. And just poke him in the eye. You go, oh, fuck. Pick one, remember? You go, pick
Yeah, but if you go like this, it doesn't work, Greg.
Right, remember? You go, oh, that's good, then hit this.
Yeah, exactly. we should reenact the Three Stooges. You could. Who would you be, Greg?
Oh, I'd have to be Curly. I'm fucking.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately, I look like that. That's the one thing. Like, you know, you talk about HEARN worried about his face. I understand that, but I'm an ugly motherfucker. It might actually be an improvement. You know what I mean? You smack my nose more to the. Might shrink this fucking thing. So maybe I'd be like, my girlfriend would be like, hit the nose. And she'd be telling the guy. She'd be telling the guy fighting me, hit his nose. The fucking thing is already. Now I come out. I'd have a flat nose, see? No more this big beak.
I've been texting Jimmy the Bull. He's avoiding me. He's saying something. He's in a truck yard because he doesn't want to answer the tough questions, John, about the fact that we heard he was in Florida, right?
Right. And they bypassed everybody that loves him
Yes.
and ignored all of our invitations. And, right. So
guys,
Lee Priest leaked it. Yeah.
We need to talk to Jimmy and ask him how the eclipse falls into the flat Earth. I want to know. I want to hear his explanation. Yeah,
everyone's saying, I guess this proves the flat Earth. I'm like, well, if the Earth is flat, I guess it's round. It's still round. It can still block out the sun.
Exactly. All of that shit was flat.
Dude, I went in
flat. Earth. The shadow was flat. It was all flat.
Everybody's in the parking lot of a store like this looking up and with them fucking glasses on. And I'm like, oh shit, the eclipse. That's right. That's why they're all doing this. I went in the store, came out, and it was over. I was like, where's it?
with it's like you ever go to a concert and every person in the whole concert is holding their phone up?
Yeah.
I'm like, why should I videotape it? If I want to see it, I could just go on Instagram. There's million
I thought they were doing that instead of the candles. They were
why do I need to film the eclipse?
I thought it was instead of a lighter.
No, that's it.
I was at a concert last night, actually. I mean, I might do like one song like for memories or something like that, but that's it. I mean,
dude, it's a lighter. When we were young,
that's what I thought. You hold the lighter up so it's
as like a tribute. Now they their phone like that. They're not taking videos.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, they are. People's videoing.
Well, you'll see some people with videos on the internet.
Everyone's got to film it. Like
everybody's videoing.
If two people video everything today, they're crazy.
What's funny is everybody videoing the eclipse, which completely doesn't work. So,
really?
No. If you video it through a telescope or through the mask thing,
so John,
I had a welding mask on, and I was able to take a picture.
Oh shit!
Through the
I actually did that, John, but I put one of those glasses, the lens, I put it over behind the camera.
Oh, that'll work, yeah.
And then zoomed in on it, and then it wasn't bad.
Dude,
why can't I hold my iPhone up and flip the camera around and just film it?
It's too bright.
It's too bright. It won't adjust.
You got to use the lens of those glasses.
It's like looking.
I don't understand. If a black object moves in front of a light source, why won't the video?
It's still too bright. It's too bright. The aperture of the phone is too closed. You won't see it.
It's like looking at a welding torch. And you know what's funny? You older guys on this panel, I don't know if you remember, but this happened like in 1972 when I was like young. And I remember in school, we made these like a cardboard box. We put the fucking paper in.
Oh, yeah. I did that too.
Yeah.
But we had 2017. We had a full eclipse down here.
That's true.
I
saw that one.
I was on a boat when it happened.
When that happened in the 70s, they were like, you should really take note of this because it's never going to happen again in your lifetime. So far, it's happened a bunch of times already.
Yeah, I know, right?
I guess we're living longer than people think.
Yeah, but it's funny, Greg brought that because I made one of those. I had that in school. We had to do it. You take a box and you poke a hole in it, and you got to put a piece of paper in front of it, and the box. You aim the box at the sun, and you actually look on the paper, and you can see the eclipse, the moon going over the dot.
Yep.
Exactly. I had the same thing.
That was pretty cool.
The box.
That's something I haven't thought of in 55 years.
That's the first time I had it in my head in a box.
What this guy posted, is this true? Just looked up where they're fighting Bloodsport Bushido. It's not real fighting. All that conversation is for nothing.
Oh man.
What is Bloodsport Bushido? I don't know.
Bullshido. It's bullshit. It's supposed to be Bullshido, not Bushido.
So they're not fighting.
No, they're fighting.
Well, it's an exhibition.
It's an exhibition. Just said.
I like Mike O'Hearn. I do. I think he's a great
Everybody's doing these exhibition fights now.
Do you think it's just? You think they're just going to be dancing around like in the WWE?
Fight Bradley Martin. That would be a good one.
It would be. It's going to be entertainment. Whatever it is, it's going to be entertaining.
Exactly.
Pages
So you
in
don't
it.
think it's going to? So you don't think it's going to be real? Is what you're saying?
No,
I thought now that we've been told this, no, it's an exhibition.
So it's pro wrestling essentially is what they're doing.
No, it's just like Tyson's fight.
There's
It's an
rules.
exhibition.
Yeah. It's not going to be like a real fight. There's going to be some.
What happened to just freaking fighting? Jeez, it's like all these exhibition stuff. Now.
Because they want to just make
the
money,
exhibition.
a money grab.
Money maker.
Wait for him in the gym parking lot like everybody else, right?
Well, I would participate in a fake fight, you know, if I knew what the outcome was, right?
Dave would be like, you know, when you put a fire around.
Greg, if we can get you in a fight that you're not going to really get hit and hurt, then I'm all for it. I'll support you. I'll be your ring guy if you want.
Dude, I'll get hurt all fucking for the right amount of money. You kill me, kick my.
Wait, speaking of all this fighting, I got to bring something up. I heard that Mr. G is upset with Dave and I because.
Oh, he is.
Well, that's what I heard. I haven't heard.
I didn't even send him the link today because he doesn't. He's too busy.
Well, because he feels like we don't believe in him that he's going to get hurt. And when you and I are only concerned about him getting hurt, his health.
I don't
is like.
Yeah.
We're not doubting his fighting ability. I just don't. I love the guy. I don't want him to get hurt. That's all.
Exactly.
It's not that you don't believe in him. He's not upset with that. He's upset that you guys put him down and laugh at him and say, look at this shit and this and that.
They
And
didn't put it down.
realize that that's
You know what's ridiculous, Greg? Hold on. You know, you just went and said how Michael Hearn's never been hit in the face and he's never had anything. He shouldn't be fighting Rampage. And Mr. G is going to fight a real MMA guy, and you're endorsing it. Why would you?
Yeah, exactly.
He's 66. If anyone, he shouldn't be in the ring. I don't want to see him get hurt.
He's upset.
Is he going to fight someone young though, like 30 or?
You're mocking his training.
I'm not mocking.
When
I'm
you mock
mocking
anything.
That's the way. Remember when he was throwing down the heavy bag and said,
Hold on, let me ask you something.
Training though.
Would you go in the ring with a 25-year-old MMA guy now?
Dude, I would do anything.
Forget the money. No money.
Yeah,
Ego. No camera, no money.
Ego and pride. That's it.
Let me tell you something. George inspires me. If I was younger, I'd train and I'd jump in a shot.
Well, you're not young. You're his age. Okay,
wait a minute. If I lived near
your
George,
age.
Yes.
Age.
Okay, hold on. Greg, do you think you could take George? I'd like to see that. Greg versus George. Let's see that.
First of all, George is my friend. I'm not hitting it. I'm not hitting it. But George is a trained fighter now. You guys take him to.
He's not. He has no fights. What training?
He trains all the time, every day.
Oh, so does Mike O'Hearn.
Exactly.
Got you, Greg.
Mike O'Hearn.
Greg, you walked yourself into a knot with that one, bro.
Yeah.
I know that George trains every day. I don't know what Mike O'Hearn does. I don't know if I know he works out every day, but I don't know if he trains. George trains every day in this stuff, and he's upset that he's saying. I'm just telling you, want to know the truth.
Can George beat Mike O'Hearn?
What?
Can George beat Mike O'Hearn?
I don't know. I believe in George. George can do anything.
You think George can beat Mike O'Hearn?
I don't know. I've never seen Mike O'Hearn train. I don't know what he does. I know that George takes this shit.
John, can you please take over this and put him in his place?
It's impossible. Greg's got his mind made up, and that's it.
He thinks Mr. G's a better fighter than.
He just conflated two sides of the same story.
Yes,
George
fights.
He thinks George's a better fighter than Mike O'Hearn.
Because George fights every day. So Rampage fights every day. George fights every day. Mike O'Hearn, nobody knows, but they assume that he doesn't. So by Greg's logic, Mr. G should beat O'Hearn.
No, I got George's back. I'd be behind George all the way, 100%. And he's upset because you guys make light of his training. And when he was
not making light of his training, I don't want him getting hurt.
Greg, he put on a fucking comedy routine with that bag. He did not espouse his training style. He didn't show him training.
true.
He didn't show.
What was that though? Was
all
that
a
actual
joke.
training?
It was him. He had the dummy,
That's how
and
he
beat the dummy
trained
up and throw the dummy on the floor and
John's
beat the
right.
dummy. That was not how you train to fight.
No.
No,
So,
see,
if
but
he wants to really put on an exhibition of how he really trains and really wants to fight, Dave and I would fucking highlight that and be nothing but supportive.
I'm
But
just-
what he showed
Absolutely.
us that day was not training. It was a joke.
John, he shouldn't have sent that clip. That clip did not do him justice.
Exactly.
That was
good.
he shouldn't have sent that
Exactly.
clip.
Exactly. And he's
What did
laughing.
it-
He was
why
hitting
was
the
it
thing on the
set
ground.
up?
He was laughing.
Yeah. He was having a good time. That wasn't
Right.
serious training.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah, there was no way that was a training. That was like a joke.
Day,
Exactly. Exactly.
see how you said that was a comedy routine and that's a joke.
It
and
was.
It was.
No,
he
he was joking,
laughing.
though.
And if it
Greg.
was,
laughing.
serious, then he's in
But-
serious trouble.
Greg, he was laughing. He had a dummy on the ground and he was
Right.
punching it and he was laughing. He was
They
fucking
sped it up.
laughing.
They sped
Look,
it up. Like,
But
Yeah,
but
and he
Greg,
sped
John,
it up
this
and the whole
is-
thing. It was a
not to take
joke.
anything away from Mr. G.
I'm
I mean,
telling
he's a
you
tough
what-
son of a bitch.
I'm telling you how he feels. I'm
All
telling
right, let me put it to you this
All
way.
right.
If it
you
was
just got done. Hold on. He just got done saying how Micah Hearn's going to get slaughtered by Rampage Jackson.
You're comparing
Mr. G has got a good shot against a 25-year-old guy in
You're
an
comparing
MMA ring.
apples and oranges.
66 years old. I get news for you. I think Michael Hearn would take Mr. G. As much as I love George,
Listen, I'm telling you right
I
now,
agree.
you're comparing apples and oranges, and I know Mr. G's mindset. Mr. G would go in that ring and you'd have to kill him because even if you knocked him out, he'd be
I
crying.
don't want him to get killed. That's the whole point.
No, you're
That's
right.
the whole
You got-
point.
Believe it, George. Though
No.
I believe in George. I think he can.
Like
do
y'all
it.
see Mark Coleman
Oh my
training
God.
both
This
you
is
again,
like
right?
Apollo fighting. It would be like Apollo fighting the Russian, where he just didn't want to quit, and he ended up just because he kept going and kept going, and they wouldn't let
Apollo
him
Creed was
out
the
there.
world champion, though.
Right? Yeah, but Drago killed him. That's what I'm saying.
Well, back,
Mr.
Yeah, but
G-
Drago didn't kill Mr. G. He killed
back to the
Apollo
point.
Creed.
If Mr. G, if George sent that video as an honest, true example of how he really trains, then everybody's going to kill him. There was nothing serious about that video. Now, what I wanted to see and what I was disappointed that I didn't see was a real video of him training, not sped up, not joking around, not laughing, hitting a dummy on the ground, but him actually training, actually fight training, sparring, something real. Instead, he didn't send us anything real. That was a fucking joke.
He spars too. But when they do that,
Greg, that's my
But that was
point.
he was trolling us with that video.
Yes.
He was
Exactly.
trolling us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's got no
Yeah.
Well,
right.
no, you know what, guys? Maybe he wasn't. And that's why he's getting upset.
No,
It's
he
like-
was.
no, he's the
No,
He was legit. And
It was
that's how
sped up. Come on.
Is he really upset, guys? Or is he
Yeah.
joking?
I've talked to him. He's very upset.
Well, he needs to unupset himself
But
because
I-
either that, why doesn't he make a real video then? Like
Yeah.
a real one.
Because you're not so
Comeback video.
in that what he showed you was how he trains. It's the most actually
No, Greg, it was
He's
not.
in big trouble if that's
No,
how he
if that's
I'll
not,
say you got that right.
He's in
Dave.
very big
He
trouble.
could punch faster than that, Greg. He could punch faster than that.
He didn't show a sparring session. He does do sparring. I've seen him do it. But he
No,
wasn't
Greg, that wasn't real training, Greg. That
Greg,
wasn't
come
real
on,
training.
dude.
in function. Even the other guy does the same
Hey,
shit.
if you have that video, you got to play
Yeah,
it because
put it
Greg
back up,
obviously
Dave.
That was
doesn't
a
remember.
comment.
He remembers.
Greg doesn't remember it
He doesn't
at all.
remember it.
You
He
got to
doesn't-
watch it again.
Dude, he was taking the
Let me see if I
dummy
still
and
have it. I don't know
Come
if I
on.
saved it.
And
If you're trying to show someone like your video, your friends, you're going to be hitting the back. You're going to be hitting hard. You're going to be moving around. He was
Right.
trolling us with that video.
Armin, you're 100%
If
right.
you watch a spring training, you can see Aaron Judge hitting off a tee, right? Exactly. Look at that. He's fucking hitting off a tee. What's he doing with that? That's basically its form and function. Left, right, left.
Greg, bad and terrible, and that's probably one of the worst analogies I've ever
Greg,
heard.
but people don't want to see that. People want to see you hitting the bag hard, like
Right.
actually training.
Right.
Which I believe Mr. G can do that.
Exactly.
I believe 100%
Exactly.
he can.
And,
Yeah.
and because of that, I'm disappointed that that's not what he showed us because I know he's capable of way more. But he didn't show us. He made a joke. He trolled us, just like Armin
Yeah,
said.
you're right, because he said he was going to show us a serious training clip.
Right.
And that
right.
was not a serious training
When
clip.
you
Everyone
guys-
can
It's
say
a
that.
joke to, it's not a joke to him, and that gets him fucking.
Then why was he
He was
laughing?
joking.
Why was he laughing?
It
If it
Why
wasn't a
was he
joke,
laughing?
he's in big trouble.
He was.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I think he's mad at the fact y'all doubt him, but that was trolling 100%. That was not a real video of training.
No, it was not.
And if it was, he's in big trouble. I'm telling you.
All right.
I know George can hit harder.
I don't think he's upset. I think Greg. I think he's bullshitting you.
Oh, really? You think he's bullshitting me? How come he hasn't been on in 5 weeks?
Because he's training.
He's training.
No,
He's training.
he's upset. You hurt his feelings.
Well, let's have him back
Greg,
on.
5 weeks. He didn't send that video
Ask
5
him to come
weeks
back
ago.
on,
It was
Greg.
a couple of weeks ago.
Support George. George
Let me
is
tell him to send me an updated video.
George sent me clips. He sends me clips often. He sent me a clip before actually hitting the bags, and that he can hit the bag. He can hit.
He's tough, dude.
Yeah, George can
But
hit.
see, Armin, that's the thing. We know that. We know.
Right.
We know. So why not send us a video of you doing that? Why send us this joke and then
Why
get
did he-
mad
he
and
should
get
have sent the video he sent
butthurt
you.
over the fact that we don't believe that was serious?
But you can't put him. He feels, like we're all brothers. You can't put him down. You can't talk about him like that.
He sent the
Don't
video,
send us a
Greg.
comedy clip.
Yeah,
It's a comedy clip, and now he's probably watching this right now, not too happy about that. Because
Well, I'm
send
sorry,
another
but
one.
that came on. If his intention was not to send us a comedy clip, he failed.
He failed.
That's all I'm saying, and I tell him that to his face.
I mean,
Greg, he could send the same video he sent Armand where he's seriously punching.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen videos of him punching. Yeah, he can.
So
punch.
why does he
Crazy
send us
stuff.
that? That's what I wanted to see.
punching too. I've seen him punching, and I've seen him actually doing.
I wouldn't want to fight him.
I've seen him doing jujitsu.
I wouldn't fight him either.
He'll fight you to the death. He doesn't give a shit. He would fight
Yeah.
Rampage. He would
That is
spit-
the most dangerous type of fighter to
Yep.
fight.
You're
Ones
totally,
that don't give
John,
up.
for real. He's still right.
Yep.
The
'Cause
problem
at
is
the
that
end of the day, even if you are winning, you're not going to want to. You're not going to want to keep
I
fighting.
give him credit. Every day he gets in there with young guys who are fucking younger than his sons and shit.
It's not hard. He gives it his all.
I can't.
I don't know how he does it. Like
It's
how
not a lot of
sore
work.
you get training that way. Like wow,
I give
that's
him
tough.
I met him. He's a really good person. You can feel he's got a lot of heart.
Dude, I used to have a powerlifter dude that used to come in the gym and just do the bar like this, right, for a couple sets. And I was like, why are you doing just a bar? What the fuck is that? Meanwhile, he was a world champion powerlifter. And it's form and function. And that's why when he gets in there and, that's what that shit is.
But he wasn't doing that.
Yeah, he was. That's the way he trains. That's legitimate training.
And he's in trouble. He's in big trouble.
Greg, I've done plenty of fight training. I know what
Dave's trying to find the
training
clip.
is.
Right? Dave's trying to find the
When
clip.
you speed up the camera and then start beating on a dummy on the ground, laughing while you're doing it, you are not doing a service to your friends who you're trying to impress. I'm sorry, but if that was his point, he missed it, and that's all there is to it.
He was.
I would like to see a day of his training where he wakes up, serves, and does the whole
Yeah,
thing.
all of that. I would love that.
I would love to see that. We could edit that into a clip and make it like 3 minutes.
His son could do it for him.
Yeah.
That would be something good.
And
Getting up early in the morning, it's still dark, and he's carrying his surfboard down to the beach, and it's dark out, and he's playing rocky music, and he's surfing, and then he trains, and then he
with his
fights.
MAGA hat on.
Yeah, that's inspiring, and not only is it inspiring, it's especially inspiring from him because he's 6 years old.
Yes.
I mean, that is totally inspiring.
If he was here right now, he'd say if he sent you that video, you'd find a reason to go.
No,
Well, look, he gets-
no.
I always support
Everybody
George.
here loves Mr.
If
T.
you send us comedy, we're gonna laugh.
Yeah,
right.
it's love you got to stand behind him.
When he sends us cookies, what do? We rave about them. We tell everybody how good they are. We share them with our friends. We spread the word. I mean, come on. How could you say we don't support him? We support him in every single way possible.
But you break his chops. George, don't you do this?
We all break each other's chops. Come
That's
on,
the
we
show,
all do.
Greg.
Like this one, I'm telling you.
We're done with George. If he wants
Okay, let's move on.
Put up the next clip. If he doesn't want
George,
to,
I tried. Who's
We'll
that?
be in his fight if he wants. All right, this is my good friend Volantis Dokos. He's a bodybuilder veterinarian. He's from Germany. He's going to be making his comeback. I wanted to give him a little plug. I love him. He's a great guy, and hopefully he'll get his Master Pro card. Yeah, he's shredded. So
He really is.
there you go, Volantis. I hope you're watching. Thanks.
Good luck, Volantis.
Good friend.
Dave, how old is he?
Amazing.
What kind of name is that? Like, is he from?
Volantis. He's Greek. He's Greek, but he's from Germany. Though.
Okay. Well, good luck.
How old is he? He's doing masters. How old is he?
Yeah, I don't know. He's in his 40s. I don't know if he's. I don't think he's 50 yet, right? I'll have to find out.
Wow, look at his chest. Right.
Yeah, he's shredded. He's shredded. He's
greater.
Luck to you.
And he's a veterinarian. Him and his wife are veterinarians. So.
Oh, so he does he can get good animal drugs then.
I was saying,
in Germany, John, in Germany, you can probably get whatever you want. Anyway.
Oh yeah, wow, his back looks fucking good, man. Look at his low back, his fucking.
Is he?
He's got that.
He's Greek, but he lives in Germany. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's got that petrified muscle look.
Yeah, I like. He's got a great look, man. That's
Dave, I couldn't tell. It's all Greek to me.
Dave, if he keeps going, he's going to end up looking like that Helmut dude, the Helmut guy. You know that?
Yeah.
This guy's really ripped, man.
Yeah. Imagine what freaking looking.
So what's going on? You probably talked about it on the show. What's going on with that guy that got beat up backstage that bound by the security?
Michael DeBoule, who's a classic physique guy. Yeah, he. We're trying to find out what the story is. According to the promoters, were not involved in that. It was the security guards from the venue that beat him up. But Michael thinks it's that there was a vendetta and that they had paid some guys to beat him up.
Two bros, and it's the security guards, correct?
Yeah. The venue had their own security. Those are the guys that supposedly beat him up. Two of those guys ran. Two got arrested. So regardless of what this kid did, whether maybe he was obnoxious to them, doesn't even matter. You don't beat up a person. You could remove the person from the premises, but you don't beat them. They broke his nose. They broke two legs.
No.
Oh my God! Really?
Two ribs.
What?
But yeah, you didn't see it.
Well,
both legs he broke.
No. I said legs.
No.
Two ribs.
Oh, ribs.
Yeah, ribs, nose.
He was jumped.
Wow.
He was jumped.
He got a beating. He got a beating.
Out of nowhere. I mean, just out of the blue.
They didn't want him in the show. He was trying to go backstage. His wife was competing there, and then they wouldn't let him. And then when the show was almost over, they let him go back there. When he went back there, supposedly he got jumped and got beat up by these two guys. So
four people, right?
According to him,
four people. Yeah.
Okay.
According to him, somebody had it out for him, and
jeez.
Oh, that's not good.
And according to other people, that this was not an accident. In other words, it was planned out. They didn't like it for whatever reason.
Why is this though? Why would you do that to the guy? What did he do so bad?
Like I said, even if he was obnoxious or said something that they didn't like, you don't beat a guy up. You know how in clubs you could just grab the guy and remove him. It
wasn't a spur of the moment thing like they're saying.
No, he's saying it's planned.
So it's like, this guy's coming to the show. We're gonna do this to him.
Yeah.
Right? No, he was trying to get in all day, and they wouldn't let him backstage.
They said that this was planned out. He said it himself.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't. Yeah, but he doesn't know. He's speculating.
But who planned it out and why? What did he do to somebody if they had it?
Let's hear the story. The backstage.
No, because they said he was bad mouthing the show and the promoters, that the show wasn't run. So he thinks the
running
promoters
his mouth, and
they think the promoters had it out for him and set it up. But there's no proof of that yet. So right now, until further proof, we can't really say.
Pussy shit. 4 fucking guys, bro. Fuck that. That's pussy.
No one should have beat this guy up. Period.
I agree.
No reason to. He didn't get physical with anyone. They should have just told him, "You're out of here." They should have grabbed him. 4 guys could have easily removed him without beating him.
No, his girlfriend was competing in bikini, right?
Yeah. I don't know if his wife or girlfriend or something like that. Yeah, and that's why he was trying to get backstage. To see her.
What are people saying? He deserved it. What the comments say? Fucked around, found out. Like,
that's what Steve Kuklo said.
What did Kuklo say?
Steve said that. No, yeah. Okay.
What did he say?
He
fucked around and found out.
Yep.
I didn't hear what you said. What did you say, Larry?
He said he fucked around and he found out.
What does that mean?
In other words, he ran his mouth. He pissed somebody off, and so they gave him an ass whooping.
Well, you can't do that though. Unfortunately, not in a public venue. Not in a public venue. You can't do that.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that it was for some reason. Whether the reason was good or not, that's a different issue.
Because you know how people are. A lot of people go around and they just treat people like shit because they don't think they're going to get beat up. Because fighting is a lot of consequences these days. So probably he was, maybe being a dick. Who knows? And
we said he
got
was
beat up.
Even if he ran his mouth, you can't put your hands on people and beat the crap out of them anymore. It's not.
The story is he was trying to get backstage That's the story.
No, I know, but they led him backstage, and then they came back, and when they realized he was back there, they gave him a beating. But regardless, it doesn't matter. The security force's job is to remove people who are not supposed to be there, not beat the crap out of them while they're removing the person. Sorry.
Yeah. That sounds personal because it's like, why so serious? Okay, you're not leaving. Okay, come on, dude, let's go. It's like, how get it that bad?
You don't need to break 2 ribs and break his nose to get him out of
there.
It wasn't about removing him. They had it out for him before he even showed up.
There had to be something.
That makes more sense.
That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like.
There had to be something.
Yeah, because
we'll keep you guys updated as we find out more.
If they wanted to remove him, they could have simply just called whatever police.
We're security. They should have removed him without beating him up. That's the end of it.
They should have called G.
All right. We got to wrap up. I'm going to the beach. That's where I am right now. I know a lot of people think I'm in a hotel room. I'm in my sister's hotel room. I'm not in a hospital room. I'm going to go lay out in the sun in Sarasota. So,
awesome.
Say hi to
guys.
Nicole.
Have a great one. Thanks for joining us live as always. Oh, we just got a tip. Hold on. Got to credit.
Awesome.
I can fight Greg. No prior fighting experience. Let me know. You want to fight this guy? To laugh?
Put up your real name. Don't talk behind make believe.
You're going to make $1.99 off this, Greg. You want to fight him? Yes or no?
$1.99. I'll fuck your ass. How about that?
There you go, Greg.
And I'll make you love me.
On that note, I love you all, guys. We'll see you again next week, same time.
Love you guys.
Have a good one, guys. I love you guys.